Heyo, it's Marco Cattaneo representing Charles Sturt University with yet another study buddy for the subject ITI 597, the subject that covers like IT service management. Hey, today I want to take a look at let's see, the structure, the organizational structure or the organizational structures for the function application management. So how do we structure the function application management? And before we talk like structure of like application management, I think you need to understand the difference between like developing applications and like managing applications. I mean, they are not the same thing. I mean, they're related, but they're not the same thing. I mean, if you look at like the primary focus of like developing applications, it's about like delivering like functionality to the business. If you look at like the primary focus of like application management, it's about actually delivering and supporting the applications and like making them available. I mean, the management mode, I mean, developing applications, it's often done like within project modus, okay? Whereas like application management is like ongoing and continuous, so it's more like operational. Measurement, I mean, developing applications is an extremely creative process where when you actually deliver the applications, you want to be consistent and like you want to provide like high quality services. Even the cost is different. I mean, developing an application is like often like one fixed fee. Okay, like there's one fixed budget to develop a new application. Whereas like operationally, you may be sharing one application with like many other applications on the same hardware, and you'll find a lot of like shared costs going on. Life cycles. I mean, you've got like the system development life cycle, and you've got like your service management life cycle. I mean, they're related, but they're not the same thing. So, I mean, there's a clear trend of these two life cycles, these two worlds actually moving towards each other, blending, and you'll start to see like more and more overlap where the gray area is not getting like smaller, it's actually getting bigger between those two worlds. I mean, they really start to like fuse into each other nowadays. So let's talk structures. I mean, just like technical management, I mean, application management is similar. I mean, structurally, it's similar. I mean, it's very unlikely to find application management performed by like a single department, a single business unit, or like a single group. It's more likely that, for example, application management is provided by like several support teams or departments, which each of these teams having their own area of specialization. So, for example, you may have like one team and they support like all the finance applications. And a different team, they support like and manage all like the web portal software and functionality. And a third team, they look after all like the manufacturing like software. I mean, horses for courses, they all have their own specialties. And they're all like experts in their own field. That's very likely, especially in larger organizations, you find like teams dedicated towards like one or more applications. Yeah, some application management related roles. ITIL talks about like application managers slash team leaders, and they have like a set of typically like management related capabilities. And they talk about like application analysts and architects, and they more have like the service design capabilities, like designing for functionality and making sure the application is properly managed and manageable. It's funny because ITIL doesn't talk about application operators, although they do talk about technical operators. So where a technical operator is doing like the operational work for like the IT technical infrastructure, you would assume that an application operator is performing the work on an operational level for the actual applications, but they actually don't identify those. So maybe it's like a gap or a mistake. So I've put it between brackets on the slide, okay? Yeah, it's very unlikely to find application management like structured as like one team in your organization. I mean, especially if you've got a larger organization, it's much more likely that your teams are organized by, for example, like the purpose of the application, the functionality it provides, the platform on which it runs, or like the type or brand of technology used. And for example, you may have a team looking after like the Windows software. You may have a team looking after like the Apple software, the Linux software, and like the stuff that runs on the Sun platform. Like, why not? There's nothing wrong with that approach. So yeah, there are many different ways of like structuring or to structure your application management like function. Some examples of like application management teams. You've got your finance team or your messaging team, your human resources team, a manufacturing team, Salesforce, sales order team, I know, call center, business specific teams, IT applications, and like actually stuff you use within IT, your web portal team. I mean, you can go on forever. I mean, like horses for courses, you can like subdivide your application management like function in as many sub-functions as you need, as you require, how to run application management like efficiently and effectively. I mean, teams may also be referred to as departments or units or functions. They may be physical, they may be virtual. It doesn't really matter. I mean, you've got like lots and lots and lots of flexibility to structure your application management function in a way that works best for your environment. Yeah, practice what you preach. Of course, it's about understanding these structures, these organizational structures for the function application management. So examine your own environment. Like, I mean, how is your application management function structured? I mean, currently, does it work? Does it provide like efficient and effective services or not? I mean, how are the various like application management teams actually being managed? And who reports to whom? What type of communication takes place between the various teams? I mean, is it effective, this communication? And if not, I mean, if there's a bit of a breakdown between the teams, like what about escalation? I mean, what type of escalation is used and like when? So like have a bit of a play with the exercise and have fun, okay? Yeah, another dreaded sample question. Which one of the following statements is incorrect considering the application management and the AM function? Answer A, application management is not normally provided by a single unit. Answer B, application management staff is likely grouped based on their specific application skills and knowledge. Answer C, application management may well have one or more application analysts in their teams. And answer D, application management is responsible for providing support with resolving technical infrastructure issues. So I'll give you a couple of seconds to think about the answer, and then as usual, we move on. Yeah, did you pick the right answer? I think you did okay. Of course, the answer is answer D. Answer D. Why answer D? Because answer D talks about the technical infrastructure issues, and of course that's technical management that should then like really support those issues. So I mean, application management, they look after the applications, and technical management, they look after the technical infrastructure. Okay, like I'm on purpose, I'm making it black and white here. It's not always like that black and white in the real environment, but on purpose, I'm making it black and white here. Hey, in the next topic, we're going to define and explain the role for the IT operations management function. Yeah, IT operations management, like the last function described in the volume service operation. So we've got like the service desk, we've got like technical management, application management, and now we're going to talk about like the IT operations management function. Hey, until then, live long and prosper. Nanu nanu. And as always, I'll be back.